Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Twisted Rod Garage. Today I'm going to run through installing a ATI super damper on an LS1. Now if you go on YouTube, there's a guy on there that does 2 videos on that, which are really good videos. I recommend you watch them. I did, and he's got one on putting the balancer together and then one installing it on the engine. But he left out a couple things that were in question to me in the instructions, so I'm going to emphasize those today. I will run through a quick assembly of the balancer just for the heck of it, but I had some questions and I called the company because I was unsure of them. So really quick on the assembly, well, not really quick actually, but if you see on the hub of the damper, there is a dot right there, and then also on the rubber part of the damper, there is a dot right there. So you want to line those up when you put the hub together, and this is a really tight fit, but it does go together. It says in the instructions that you may have to use the bolts to get it together to start walking it in, but it does go right in there if you're gentle, just like that. And mine, it needs a accessory pulley for the AC. This one's marked engine side, so that will go on here just like that. So they tell you that they want you to use all the bolts when assembling this damper, which is 9 of them. So these longer bolts are going to go through these regular holes right here and go through to the accessory drive pulley, and then these flathead bolts they gave you are just bolting the damper to the hub. Make sure you use Loctite on these. Also with these bolts, they call this a T40 plus. Now I've never heard of a T40 plus before. I might have used one on accident without knowing it, but as long as I've been a mechanic, I've never heard of a Torx plus bit. But I have a regular T40 here, and as you could see, it's a little loose, but these bolts only get torqued to 16 foot-pounds. So guess what? I'm using a T40. They say not to because you can risk not getting it apart, but let me tell you, I've done some shady shit, and that seems like a pretty good fit to me, so that's what I'm doing. So also, don't forget, if you're not using an ARP bolt, make sure you purchase a new harmonic balancer bolt because they're torque to yield. It says that in the instructions as well. All right, now I'm going to go over a couple of steps in the instructions that I was unclear about. Okay, so the LS1 is not a keyed crank, although this does have a keyway in the hub to accept a key. It's a press fit and it's a pretty tight fit. So they do tell you in the instructions to put some never sees on either the snout of the crank or the hub when you're putting it together. I don't like using that nasty shit, so I'm just going to use some grease. But also, they want you to put some silicone in the slot for the keyway in the hub so that oil doesn't leak through it. And now on the instructions, I measured the snout of my crank. It tells you to check the interference between the inner diameter of the hub and the diameter of the snout. And my crank falls right in between this right here, the 1.375 inches to 1.60. And you're allowed 7 to 9 10,000ths. Now, if you're using this, which is probably what a lot of people have, this little digital caliper here, if you notice, it does not go to the 10,000ths spot. It only goes to the 1,000th spot. Now, I was getting a difference of 5,000ths. And as you could see, it only allows 7 to 9 10,000ths. So I called the company, and he said that this is not going to suffice when checking that because the tolerances are too tight. So also what I did was I took the old balancer. And checked the inside diameter of this as opposed to this, and it was the same. So I was pretty sure that I was going to be okay, but I called the manufacturer and he said that you'll be fine, just put it together, that this caliper is not going to be accurate enough. Also, the other thing was step number 7. They want you to make a measurement from the snout of the crank. I'm going to show you. I want you to measure the snout of the crank from the end of it here back to the timing gear. Get that measurement. And then measure from where the crank bolt is going to sit on that lip right there to the back edge of the hub. And you're going to take those two measurements and you're going to subtract them. See, they tell you to say right here, subtract A from B. And then what I come up with on mine is 0.23, which is almost a quarter of an inch. And okay, so what that measurement is actually for is just for you to make sure that the pulley is on the crank all the way, because it's such a tight fit that the guy on the phone for ATI told me that you might think that the pulley is on all the way, but it's actually not. And if you your belts might not line up, or they look like they line up, and you throw a belt, you may not know what's going on. So that's just for you to know that if the balancer is on all the way. Because where I got confused was, it says after subtracting A from B, it says this will give you the measurement from the tip of the snout to the washer surface, which you must have when the damper is fully installed on the crank, but it doesn't tell me why I need that measurement. So that's what I was unsure of. So just read the instructions, and the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so here it is assembled, and all these bolts, no problem torquing these down. I was able to just hold the balancer with my hand and use a torque wrench to torque them down. These ones with the flat head were 16 foot-pounds, and these with the 12-point head were 16 to 18. Again, I just held the balancer and torqued them all down, and there was no indication that I was overstressing either the socket or that head of that bolt to get that in there. I mean, there's no damage at all. So I just want to say thanks ATI for trying to keep it simple and get me to purchase another tool, but it didn't work. Okay, so as you can see, the balancer down there is on already. I just wanted to show you. This right here is the tool that I purchased from Amazon. It was 20 bucks, and it's just a 16 millimeter by 2.0 threaded bolt, and the balancer went on no harder than any other balancer I've ever put on before. So the only part that was difficult was if you're using a factory GM bolt for that balancer, they want you to use the old bolt and torque it down to 240 foot-pounds, and then remove the bolt, put the new bolt in, torque that to 37 foot-pounds, and then go 140 degrees. And let me tell you, that was the hardest part. I had to use my jack handle right there with my Craftsman breaker bar, and yeah, that was the toughest part. And I used this torque angle gauge that I bought off of Amazon. It was like 20 bucks, I think, also. Worked perfect for doing that bolt.